Are you? Oh yeah.
And I was like, I'll screw my day off, just like just a bit. I was just wanting the number of the guy who was Facebook. But also, that great you guys were talking about like wanting to bring the community on board. Would you be the first name or leave it on that?
Right here, how you doing?
It wasn't like big, it was just about like that person. But it's that's
Okay.
Birthday.
All right.
I know, they look good. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh no. They look good. Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, that's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, I can imagine that's so much fun. Yeah.
Ask each and every one, please, if you will, for short, for prayer, and bow your head, please. Gracious Heavenly Father, we come thank you before another day's journey. This is the day you have made. We're going to be glad and rejoice in it. Father God, I ask you to be in the midst of our city council meeting to conduct the welfare of the city of Lafayette. Father God, I pray right now that you bless each and every one that's on the sound of my great voice, bless their family while they're departed from them. Bless this city in a very special manner, O Heavenly Father. We won't fail to give you thanks and the praise, and you word of praise. In Christ's name, amen. Praise God. This time we ask our clerk, roll call please.
Councilwoman Milford.
Here.
Councilman Langley. Here. Councilman Thomas. Here. Councilwoman Story.
Here.
Councilwoman Williams. Mayor Ryan.
Here. Reading of the minutes, November 17, 2025, and the special call council.
I make a motion to approve reading of the minutes for the special call council. November 17th.
Been properly motion second if we approve the reading of the minutes, November 17, 2025, and the special call council. Minutes. Any discussion? Not all in favor, by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We have with us tonight, Dr. Holly Koff, Assistant Vice President, Outreach, Public Service, Auburn University. Snyder, Travis County Extension Director of Alabama Board of Extension System. Go ahead.
It does work?
We can hear you.
Okay, great. No, I'm Holly Cox. It's very nice to meet you all and congratulate those of you who are new to the council. And so many of you, we've been able to work with you over the past, how many years now? Almost, yeah, 5 years, I guess, on an initiative that we have, and we're very proud that we've been able to launch the Rural Health Initiative here in the city of Lafayette in Chambers County. And I'll just back up a little bit. Some of you have been there, I'm sure some of you may not have, but we started the Rural Health Initiative here because we looked at this community, and first and foremost, we have beautiful leaders. We had the mayor here, we had the city clerk, we had our fire chief, and they were wonderful leaders who wanted to partner with us, and we had a great tool that we found, which is the care station, the telehealth station. And so we wanted to launch the initiative here as a pilot site for the entire state. And so what we're able to offer, because we do this together, is we're able to offer no-cost healthcare for the community through telehealth services, through state-of-the-art technology, and we have some just wonderful clinicians that are there to serve. And in addition to that, we have health ambassadors, which are community members, and they really help to drive the work that we're doing, and we listen to the community. So again, we're excited about the services that we're able to provide. We have health programs. We have a number of different students and faculty who've been able to report as well, but we give a 6-month report and an annual report. We can come as often as you like for us to.
So the report that's in front of y'all is the same one I presented to the council just a few months ago, but for the new ones, we wanted to make sure we presented again, so y'all were aware of the data that we have currently at the On-Med Care Station and the Community Health and Wellness Center programs. And so I'm not gonna read through this whole thing for you, just looking at some of the numbers, so you're a little familiar with what kind of numbers we have there. Just for our events, like our special programs, this is not including the On-Med Care Station, but just the extra health education, and health programs that we have on site. We've had 607 participants in the 6-month period from January to June of this year. And then our impact with the actual care station itself, on top of that, is 897 engagements with the care station, in that 6-month reporting period, which includes 459 health consultations, so people actually using it for a health visit, they were sick or had a rash or whatever it was. Then 44 demonstrations, just kind of testing out to see what it is, which I encourage all of you, if you have not been, to go and do a demonstration, you can do it at any time. And then also 394 vitals checks, so people going in to just give themselves a checkup, check their blood pressure, check their temperature, their weight, whatever it is, you can do that at any time as well. So those are just a few key numbers I want to point out, plus the fact that we collect data each time when people have the option of filling out a survey, and we have seen that 66% of patients that use us do not have a primary care provider, and so this is their kind of healthcare option that they utilize. And so, not saying that it's meant to be a replacement for primary care, because we do try to push those patients to find a primary care provider, especially if they're repetitively coming for the same conditions. And so we have Auburn Nursing coming up to do primary care clinics for those people who come and see us repeatedly. They come up once a month to kind of act as additional health care checks for people who have those chronic conditions. So I just wanted to point out those few numbers just to take a few seconds, but these are your reports to keep so you can look through them thoroughly at your leisure.
And then also, if there's more information that you'd like, you're the drivers here, this is your community, so let us know if you have other questions or if you'd like for us to try to maintain additional data. We'll do the best that we can to address those requests. You have a couple of other documents in front of you as well. You have the original memorandum of agreement that we signed between the university, the city, and the county. This is a 3-way partnership. We couldn't do it if we weren't doing it together, plain and simple. You also have some numbers as far as the budget memo request that we submitted to Chambers County. Chambers County Commission is supporting our staffing, and then you'll see that the contributions that you all are making as well with respect to the staff support that you're providing, not paying for the salary of the staff, but Liz Davidson supports us, the chief supports us. We also have George who supports us as well as far as maintaining that building, so really it is a nice one. I want to thank y'all and see if you have any questions.
Mistakenly put one person on the list that actually is getting ready to go through the program. He's not a graduate yet, but we have Pastor Kelsey Barnes, Mrs. Deanna Hand, Mrs. Fonda Ross, Councilwoman Charlene Story, and Mrs. Amy Tucker. We also have Mrs. Anthony M. Finger and Ms. Andy Chamley from the Chambers County Development Authority that are here to kind of just speak on what the program is and how those graduates made it in the program.
So I'm going to embarrass the graduates. Will y'all please stand and come to the front for a picture so that way they can see who our lovely graduates were. This program started, this is our first year, and it
want to be proud. Applications open every year on October 1st, and they close on Halloween on October 31st. So if you're interested, they'll come around again in October. And thank you to the city for always, last year and this year, sending someone in to study in the program. We really
Also, we
appreciate it.
have another participant in here too, Miss Ebony Askew in the back,
Yes.
will be in class too as well. So follow us on Facebook to stay updated with this next class, and, if you are interested, mark your calendars October 1st for applications to open. Thank you. Okay, also too, sorry, one more thing here. We have two board members in the audience as well, Mr. Lewis Davidson, who serves as our treasurer, and Ms. Rachel Scotty, who serves as our vice president.
Just want to say congratulations to the graduates. At this time, we want to revisit the downtown speaker system. Discussion we had at council meeting.
Good evening. And I would like to say, I think I speak for all of us as graduates of Leadership Kansas County. We exceptionally are appreciative of Ainsley and Andy for all of their hard work that they poured into it. Thank you all for your support. I think that all of us here in Lafayette, I'm excited for Emily and Ebony to be part of the group because it has been very beneficial in development and networking, and I think it helps us better advocate for our city. And I think that it's just a great opportunity, so. But tonight we're here because we wanted to again express our excitement over the speaker system that we have proposed to you all. We were able to raise $41,000 to Lafayette Main Street Vision Lafayette to be able to give back to the city of Lafayette and contribute, something that really creates a vibrant downtown, something that all our citizens can enjoy when they're out and about, shopping at special events, or if it's Lafayette, a Rocky Fest, has some nice, like, Christmas music playing throughout all of downtown. So with this system, like I said, $41,000 is what we're able to use to purchase the system and provide that to the city and have these installed in downtown so it can reach the square and anyone walking and enjoying our downtown. So, I think you all had tabled and we wanted to provide better numbers for you. So you'll see the cost estimate. I'm gonna turn it over to Jeremy Johnson, who's on our Vision Lafayette board, and he can kind of help us walk through what the costs are for the city. And that does include our labor. We did get Chris, and he's been exceptional to work with, to provide us kind of an estimate on what it costs to install this kind of system, so.
Yep, and I think you all have this in your packet, but, thank you to Chris for pulling this together after the last meeting and the work that he's, helped us kind of scoping out which poles and the different directions so that we have full coverage, as Deanna mentioned, throughout the entire square. I'll also point out that Chief was in downtown Opelika today, they had the exact same system, and he said it was awesome to hear it, played throughout the square there in Opelika. But, Chris pulled some numbers together, so with and again, this is in your packet, but with the number of polls that we're gonna do, the hardware itself comes out to be $399.32. And the estimated labor for 4 employees, would be $1,146.04. So the ask is that the city would contribute that to, assist with the installation of, the speaker system.
At this time, I would like to speak to everyone. I think with the cost of the labor, I think our guys already being on the clock, that that's something that they could do during the day, so we could eliminate that cost. And, as far as I'm concerned, if the other council members may agree with me, I go ahead and make a motion at this time, that we go ahead and allow the amount of $399.32 to go toward the, speaker system for downtown.
I'll second that motion.
It's been properly motion second that this, Main Street, Mr. Johnson as well. He made a report, given us the report that we asked for, in the last council meeting. Any discussion? If not, I'm in favor by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion
about 5,000 linear feet of new 8-inch pipe to replace the old 6-inch cast iron pipe that's currently under 431, which actually is probably about a 4-inch pipe because you got that buildup on the inside of the pipe. It's in y'all's packets on page 2. That image is a good representation of what the inside of that pipe would look like. So replacing that is important. That would help with water quality issues that the city gets a lot of complaints about. And then also, we want to relocate it out from under 431. Currently, it's under the road, but move it outside of the road. That'll give better access to the utility department for better access to valves and circuit connections, making repairs. You don't have to dig out into the road and create lane closures and have to deal with outlet and all that comes with that. And then it'll also aid in maintenance for leaks and, things like that. Don't have to get out into the road. And then along the main, we'll replace service lines, which will get rid of a lot of old galvanized service lines that are currently feeding a lot of those houses and businesses. So,
We'll also improve fire protection, we'll have considerably more fire flow, not only on 431, but a couple of the corners around the courthouse will increase fire flow there too. And we'll be replacing some of the fire hydrants that need replacing, 2 or 3 of those, and we need replacing, if we replace those at some point. And no point. But it'll probably wind up having to be under the sidewalk, so there's a good bit of cost in that to remove and replace the sidewalk. So many utilities running down between the curb and the sidewalk, fiber optics on one side, gas on the other. Probably one of our replaces under the sidewalk. We get new sidewalk out there.
any questions?
So when you replace the main line, will that, like, I guess the main line fixes everything, or would it just fix like in that area? Like, help me understand that.
It'll be in that area, but, I think it'll expand more than just that area, because you're gonna be interconnecting, parts of the network, where currently it's 6-inch connected to 8-inch, we'll be connecting 8-inch to 8-inch, so I think the effects will spread, farther out than just that one area that we're replacing it. And also, a lot of your brown or dirty water problems could stem from up and flow and get down and farther into town, and so.
This is 5,000 feet we're replacing, and the city water system, do you remember how many miles it is? So the whole system is many miles high. We look at this, considering this to be the highest priority, considering the old pipe under 431. Also, the other thing I was gonna mention was that a lot of our services we was talking about, so every house down through there got a service tied into that line. And there's, some of them are 100 years old, and they've been failing. You notice there's a bunch of places where the roads are dug up, and there's no reason to expect those would continue to fail. And have to continue to dig up Highway 431.
One more question, while we're replacing this main line, what be able to notify them beforehand? Okay. So when our citizen, like I stay on Drake Avenue, and once we replace this main water line, and say 3 years down the road, I got discoloration in my water. So I'm guessing that will not be tied, so we don't know which citizen will be tied to the new main line, or like which district will be tied to the new main line?
It'll just be just the houses right, that run down 431.
Okay.
And they'll get the ones beyond them. But the water, the Brown water problem, and just to reiterate some of what we said in our meeting, it's not a, this is not gonna fix the whole thing. It's a combined, effort with, treatment at the plant, management of the plant, management of the water system, replacing the worst of the lines, mains as they come up. So it's a four or five pronged approach to minimize that. And, you can have brown water out here, we come out here and open the fire hydrant tonight,
Right.
then the water's gonna be, these folks out here gonna have brown water. It's just,
I only have one question, a couple of comments leading up to it. I know that the water is probably consistently one of the biggest concerns between us and citizens in Lafayette that I've heard for years. You know, 3 or 4 of us attended a training last week with the development of 32, and they were talking about when new businesses and new plants and stuff come in, infrastructure is one of the biggest things that they look at as far as stability and how the city can withstand their needs also. So I definitely think improvements to the water structure are necessary. And obviously we can't do it all at once, we've gotta start somewhere. So my question, and it may be something, I wasn't privy to the committee discussions, but obviously with everything, there's a pretty substantial money asked. So you'll have a plan in place with the committee for how y'all are gonna begin to approach the financial aspect of it.
we just engineers.
And I said, it may be a question for the mayor or the clerk later, or if there was a committee put together, but I wasn't privy to those conversations, so before I felt like that's
I
important to
think
ask.
that's part of this meeting here is to kind of present what you got estimated cost in there for it is, and then that's going to have to come up where the funds may or may not come from.
I think clerk don't.
Well, and one thing I do wanna mention, I don't know if I missed it or not, but have we communicated why this project, why now?
No, we didn't do it, but that was another thing, put this on higher on the priority list, this section of the line, because of the renovation and the repaving, of 431 downtown and, from downtown north, where 77 splits off. And then I think they paved a little bit going the other way too. But part of this is we're gonna get one section of it out from under the downtown, one block, anyway, probably. Won't be any more line under that. Some of those downtown buildings we can continue from the rear. So, we'd like to do this before the immediate downtown project goes in, where we need to put in the concrete islands and all that. Because we don't wanna go back there and dig up the new work they just put in. So, that part of it is time sensitive, and that we would like to get that in. Does their stuff in the downtown block.
Can you go ahead and give us that date when that project should be?
If nothing else, we'd like to do that part from, New City Hall. That's, I guess, not quite the Stephanie's, but from the courthouse, we need to make time like that. Those 2 spots, we'd really like to go beforehand.
Say that again, past New City Hall to where?
To the theater, and then there's one spot probably in front of the courthouse, the parking lot from the courthouse, where we Yeah, they're paving, they let a paving project from basically Forker Road, like north. They told me it would be an FY 26 project, which means they wouldn't be ready until 2026, which I don't know whether that means January or July. So they'll have, they'll have to let it in, they'll have to be, and so it won't be happening in January, I feel pretty confident about that, but it might be happening in May or June. I couldn't get a good answer out of it, but it's a separate project than the other project.
How long will it take y'all to figure this out?
I mean, it'll get designed and bid, it's gotta be, it's gotta be public bid and bid received and get started with the work itself. I mean, a month probably, of the intense work, and then clean it up and, the little things and some services and all like that may drag out. Bulk of the work I'll be done.
There's gonna be some, I think some pretty extensive upfront, survey work that needs to be conducted before we get into design. Just nailing down utility locates, and that's something we run into with the fire hydrant project, just not having enough information on how to isolate lines and where, valves are, old valves that nobody knew about, that's been paid over or whatever, and, how lines are connected, so that's gonna be something that is, I think, really important prior to us starting to get the design work going.
And will new sidewalks be included in this?
That's the thinking right now, that we'll have to put it under the sidewalk, because through on the back of the sidewalk is the right of way, so they're gonna leave us,
Not like regular.
not like, and the trees, on big trees on one side, and, that's kind of thinking, so yeah. Apply new sidewalk.
If this doesn't get approved and we don't get moving on it pretty quickly because of the paving project, let's say they come in and pave and then we decide that this is something that we're gonna do, what are the differences in, like, how much more difficult does that make your job from the new paving to the old paving, and how expedited does this decision need to be made, I guess is the question.
The downtown areas where they're putting in new sidewalks and curb islands and those kind of things, if we came back after the fact and did that, we'd have to tear out an area of new sidewalk and curb and gutter and put that back, so that's, you have that cost of replacing and repairing all that back and all that cost.
Most of the concrete, as far as the paving, the way that we're gonna do it, we really shouldn't mess up too much paving. Any crossings or however on board under the road, so really mostly gonna be with the concrete that they put downtown, I think.
And that would be an option, if depending on the funding, would be divided into two pieces, do that section, downtown section first, like from East City Hall to Craig Corner.
So this will help those businesses in that area, because they complain about water a lot, so this will help them.
Yeah, we'll have to.
I know you still have, most of the grid downtown is still old cast iron, so that, you gotta take it one step at a time.
And then the distribution system in the Fed is 10, 12, 15 miles, I can't remember the exact number, and we're replacing one. That's a lot of it. And this is in, Councilmember mentioned starting, this has actually been an ongoing process for years and years, so we've replaced with CDBG projects and some of the city-owned funds, we've replaced considerable amount of water lines over the last 10, 15 years. I guess we've done probably 4 different projects. We kind of been limited to the areas that CDBG applies. We use those funds to replace
I'm new to this, so we're supposed to make a motion? Okay.
So what are we here for tonight?
Yeah, we're supposed to make a motion.
What do you need us to do?
Well, we hadn't got proposals or anything yet, so we would need to get you a design proposal.
Okay.
If you approve that design proposal, then we proceed with the design work, and then we get the design work done. We come back and we have a better estimate, we would have, we could have what the actual plan is gonna be, and you know what that number, that budget number would be, and then y'all would decide whether to go ahead and bid the project or not.
Not worried about where we're gonna get it financed.
Yeah. We're gonna be fine with it. I mean, we need at least 30 days to design, like I said, 'cause we gotta do a good survey work up front. We gotta know exactly where the existing utilities are, exactly where the sidewalks are, location, trees, who's gonna be, all that's gonna be. We just can't send somebody in there with an excavator and start digging, but it's just too much going on out there.
Well, thank you for bringing this to our attention. I'm all for the water situation, fixing it, so we just gotta find some money, I guess.
It's a big job, and we just have to take one step at a time.
So we need a motion to,
Well, the thing is, we're gonna have to find out how we're gonna finance this. We're gonna have to have, my suggestion is that we need to, first of all, start seeking some grants, see if that can help, cover this cost. If not, the finance committee and myself and all of us clerk, we're gonna have to see how much we need to go borrow. If we can't seek out these grants, but the first thing we need to do, I know you guys have in the past helped us out on grant. We don't have a grant right now, and I know this is very pressing. I'm concerned really about the state coming in and they getting started in here. I don't want two projects going on at one time. So the thing is, in the past, I know y'all have done excellent job of seeking grants to help us. Can you kind of help us out on that end as well while we work on our end as well?
Yeah, and usually what we do is what's called preliminary engineering report, so we get a grant writer, they put together the part of the grant where they request, requesting the funds and,
Yes, sir.
and the verbiage and all that, whatever the details of that are, we put together the engineering side of it, cost estimate, preliminary plan, basically come up with preliminary engineering report, and that's basically what's in your package. So it's really ready to go, we just find a grant writer, get the project, we just need money. So it should be ready to go, and we'll get y'all, before next meeting, we'll get your engineering proposal, so maybe we'll have an idea about finance, about the engine, so we can go forward with it or not.
I feel once we receive that part of this project, that I think we'll be able to move forward. Main thing I want, our engineer to come forward to really, to let you all know what's going on, and looking at this cost, so you can see. So when we thinking about it, especially to our finance committee, that's something we may have to consider as well, if we have to add that until, to this year, budget. Okay.
Any other questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you all so much. Okay, we have, department head in attendance tonight, so we're down to department head number 4. Okay, next we have notice of claim. Matt?
There are two claims on the agenda. First one is a claim from Ms. Joyce Davis. Apparently there was a sewer backup of some sort. The email I got said I was supposed to get a statement from someone else that never did come in. So I've got some incomplete information here, but I will say that this claim does exceed the insurance deductible per $1,000. So recommend that we deny this claim and refer it to the insurance company unless they make a determination, pay the claim if they.
So, and probably motion second that we deny the claim, coming from our attorney, which is supersede over the $1,000 now, and deny this claim, turn it over to our insurance. Any discussion? Not all in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion approved.
The second one is, a trip and fall, apparently in one of the city streets and parking area. We have received a notice of claim from an attorney from Enterprise. The amount listed in that claim is $25,000, which again, exceeds our deductible, and that's one I'm gonna recommend that we also deny and refer to the insurance company.
So moved.
Second. And probably motion second that we also notice of claim, coming from our attorney, which exceeds our $1,000 now, and turn it over to the insurance company. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion approved to deny the claim.
Mayor, I would like to go back to the department head report. At our second meeting, I asked the question about the overgrown vegetation state behind the, Chinese restaurant, and it was stated that it was in the, I guess, code enforcement, which would be the police department. Do we have a report on that?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. That been put over to, Lieutenant, Animal Control, Code Enforcement. He's working on that. He got other projects he got to do too, so it did pass on properly to him and he working on it. So hopefully by next council meeting, I have something updated on that situation.
All right, thank you so much.
While you're up here, I just wanted to, I was gonna mention it in my comments, but since you're here, I just wanted to make a note that as I was looking through the reports, it seems that one of the concerns that a lot of our citizens have had lately about some petty theft issues may be a little bit better under control, and I wanna commend you and your
Yes.
team for taking care of that,
Yes,
so.
last 2 weeks, we had a series of breaking in vehicles and he was able to, pop up the people that was doing.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay. For the officers, we have the CW, loan application.
the first meeting, you know, you're still trying to get your feet on the ground and figure everything out, which I'm still doing. But I didn't want to get too far down the road without saying I'm excited to be on the council, and try to bring some new ideas and some change that I feel like citizens are interested in and want to see. I'm excited to bring a nice, young, fresh face to the council, and I look forward to what we can accomplish in the next 4 years. I do have a couple of things that have come up, from citizens and that I've seen through the last month or so that, first off, I definitely want to shout out the street and the electric department. I know, especially even today, I saw a post from one of our local businesses that said that they were appreciative of the electric department for, quickly helping them resolve an issue. So, it's always good to see positive comments that our city workers are doing their job from businesses and employees. And then I personally was able to work with the street and electric department, as a volunteer on the Christmas committee, and they were very helpful, very knowledgeable about everything, moved quick, even in some rain. I would like to make a couple of comments on behalf of the Christmas committee. As y'all noticed, they did not want to come back and put a proposal on the table after it was voted to table at the previous meeting. Part of that, is, you know, we did get a little bit of a late start this year. Some of that was due to, just different things with the committee setup and election, but also when our swearing in ceremony happened, it was kind of hard to get on the agenda for that. So apologize for the late notice, but, also if they had come with a revised proposal tonight, by the time everything would have been purchased and been in, all of our Christmas events in the city would have already been completed. And also it probably would have been very close to Christmas. So, I think the decision was made to just kind of, for us, to table that even into the next year. But, just as a, kind of a heads up to us and the council and the city that, there are several decorations, some of them we were not able to use this year due to some electrical issues. When we were putting it up this year, a lot of those are faded. And the tree that we're using has always kind of been meant to be a temporary solution, so there are probably gonna be some expenses that are coming. I don't know when those will hit, but also, I definitely think it's something that we should look into over the next year as a city, not just from the volunteer side of things, but how, and maybe look into how other cities handle their Christmas committees or their Christmas departments. Do they have a volunteer committee? Do they have a city committee? Do they have a line item budget for Christmas? Because I know for the last several years, there's been some miscommunications and mishaps in how things have been handled. And just to kind of prevent that from going forward, maybe we could either figure out, if this is a volunteer committee or if it's a organized city committee, because I think there's been a lot of ambiguity over that topic over the last several years, and some of that clarification may prevent some of these same issues from happening going forward. So that's just some comments on that behalf. And then I also noticed that we had a letter from one of our department heads. I would, is it appropriate to bring that up? I would like to commend, our, what is it, wastewater department head for the service that he has done for the city in the past. So we'll commend that for now. I appreciate your offer and opportunity for you to, what you brought to the city a little bit. Let's see. Another thing that it seems to come up in several conversations that we've had so far, just within the last month, is there seems to be all kind of grants out there that are available for different projects, different topics, and all of those conversations end with the same thing of, well, we don't have a grant writer. before our next council meeting, if possible. I know we're all busy people, we've had some holidays sprinkled in, but, hopefully over the next week or two, we might be able to find some time to do a work session. I know after this week, my law school schedule significantly is a relief to me, so I have plenty of availability over the next couple of weeks. I don't know about the rest of you guys, maybe we can do that next week. How's everybody's schedule next week for the review of the committees? Yeah, the boards committees. So I'd really like to get that on the table. I don't know who and how we need to make sure that happens, but we've let it go by for 3 weeks, and I don't think it needs to keep getting put off. Yeah, I can do it. I can do it next week, but maybe Friday. Well, I guess it'd be because we're all gonna have to appoint people from our district, so it'll be a working session for the whole council, wouldn't it? I said any day but next Friday.
Oh, but next
Yeah, I could do Monday, Tuesday, but we could do it, I mean, if everybody's available on Monday during the regular city council time, we could just meet at 5 every month. Tuesday? Do we prefer morning or afternoon, night?
afternoon. But y'all can have it whenever.
Tuesday, 5:30?
And Mayor, I'd like to find that.
This is my last comment, so I'll
We
shoot.
can combine it
Yeah.
together.
Don't come by.
That, you know, that works for me.
Okay.
Maybe we can-
5:30 Tuesday.
That's not.
So we just need, we're gonna say that we're gonna schedule a council work session Tuesday at 5:30 to go over the finance and the committees. Tuesday at 5:30. Will that be, clerk, will that be here, New City Hall?
Let's do it, we see how.
New City Hall? So New City Hall, Tuesday at 5:30 to go over finance and committees. Let's go with everybody? Thank you, those are my concerns.
That's the 16th, is that right?
It's the 16th.
16. Okay, Councilman Lane.
I'm good, finance meeting is not particular.
Yes, we have a couple of things, very briefly. Let's keep in mind, we have a finance committee meeting, and we need to keep in mind that we need to give our city employees some raises. I mean, they're long overdue, and, guy does a great job, and we need to definitely try to figure out a way to give our employees, so we appreciate them getting some raises right here. You know, and second of all, once again, I would like to see our business license come back to the city. We're still losing a lot of revenue, with businesses around here, not having the license, and so we can have better control over that situation, that we have someone in-house take care of our business license. Basically, that's all I have.
Yes. So one issue I have is in District D, I have some complaints about dogs running at large with no leashes. So I'm not sure what the ordinance on that. So, that's one thing. The second thing is, I would like to place on the agenda for the next city council meeting is to once again discuss the exchange program. They had brought up in a council meeting before I became councilwoman, that they wanted to utilize one of the buildings for the city. And I think it was tabled, so I'd like to put that back on the agenda so we can discuss that for this exchange program. Not for sure what we need to do on that one. The third thing I have is, I would like to put on the agenda for the next meeting, that we do some research on see how we can get a full or part-time park director. Because right now, we do have some amazing people. I would like to give a thank you to Danny Williams, a Holloway, Jamarcus Walton, and also Ms. Evan Askew. They have been running our Parks and Rec program, and we are the only city in a 100-mile radius that do not have a paid Parks and Rec director. The person that's currently heading up the Parks and Rec director, he is, his career is moving forward, so he will not be able to devote the time that he has been devoting to our city. And our city is, well, Parks and Rec is, it makes up our city. And without those programs, then our kids have nothing to do. So we really need to get a Parks and Rec director, paid, not volunteer paid. I do have a 2026 baseball and softball budget estimate for our program, that I can give to the finance committee that they are needing for 2026. And for our basketball and cheerleading program for December and January, we have 90 kids that signed up for basketball and cheerleading. That is amazing. So they have been hardworking at making sure our kids stay active, and it's not an ordinary basketball program, it's an NBA basketball program. So these kids are gonna be having uniforms that displays NBA team's name versus Lafayette Parks and Rec. It'll have like an NBA team name, just as we had with flag football. The next thing I have is, okay, here we go. So, on Saturday, November 22nd, we had a power outage. And thank you so much, Ms. Annie, for putting it on Facebook. But our citizens that are not on Facebook, they didn't know what was going on. So we need to come up with a better way of notifying our citizens. I didn't know what was going on. So it would have been nice if I would have got an email or text message or something from someone letting me know that we have power outage, so that I could tell my people that we were in a power outage and this is the reason why we was in the outage. So it is 2025 going into 2026, and we don't have a notification system. And I feel like we need to do better to our citizens to get them notified when there's a major issue in the city of Lafayette. They shouldn't have to rely on word of mouth, because word of mouth, you can get stuff mixed up. So I feel like we need to put our heads together and find some type of way to get us a notification system for our citizens that are not on Facebook. Let's see. Okay, the last thing I have, I do know there's a Christmas party coming up for our, employees for the city of Lafayette, but I did want to know what other incentives that we give to our employees, not in the form of a raise, but what other things do we make them morale boost, make them want to come to work every day and serve our citizens. Like, I'm not sure what it is, but I feel like if we're not doing anything outside of monetary, that we need to start doing small things for our employees that makes them want to get up every day and come work for the city of Lafayette. Cause I noticed some people, I speak to some people and their morale is like really low because again, we haven't given them a raise. So if there was something else that we could do to boost these people's morales. I know a Christmas party is great, but once a year, you know, something else to kind of boost up their morales. That is all that I have.
One thing I have, speaking of our employees, during this holiday season, someone brought to my attention about the off time and how we,
two city holidays, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, which fall on Wednesday and Thursday. So some of the employees have, asked if the mayor and council would allow employees to have time and close the city on Friday. So there are gonna be some employees that are already working, so the reason, and we've done this in the past, the reason they have to use time so that those employees that have to work anyway would not be given short end of the stick. So the request, and I have not spoken with all the department heads, I've only spoken with a couple of people, but the ones that I've spoken to would like to be off on the Friday after Christmas instead of having to come back to work after being off on that Wednesday, Thursday. I know we have some department heads here, so I don't know if they wanna speak on what their employees are saying. But I know some have came and talked to me wanting that request. And of course, one of my employees is here, so she wants to speak. But she normally likes to speak, so. Then you can ask her as well, but when we've been off in the past, like additional days, it's something that the mayor and council decided that we would close for employees that, did not have to be here, non-essential employees, they had to use, their sick or vacation time.
And they're okay with using it? I mean, if they're,
The ones that I've spoken to, but there are other department heads here, so I think that they're gonna know their employees a little bit better.
are they okay with using it?
That's what my department has asked.
Okay. Any other ones?
I'm sure mine would be the same.
Okay.
Mac, is that something that you may want to elaborate on, or something you want to vote on? How that works, since it's something.
From my understanding, I think we did this a year or two ago.
We did.
But essentially, if the department, if everyone in the department agrees to take that day off, and I don't know if there's anything we need to do other than change the hours for city hall and for city services. So, essentially make it a city holiday for this year, for both of those, departments. And basically, that's the only motion I think.
I'm from out of city training, someone put it in for me.
I make a motion to, okay, I don't know if I gotta say the rest of the speech.
What's your motion? I'll second.
Want to explain the motion?
Oh, so I have to explain the
No,
motion?
I'll.
Yeah,
You let us know what we need to make the motion for. and
The
we-
motion is, what is it, date?
December 26th,
Right.
The 26th, Friday the 26th?
That's
Friday
great.
the 26th.
The Friday the 26th and January the 2nd. Both of those?
Yeah, cause
Let's
it's.
get that in the next, we got it out.
So,
We'll go ahead, let's go ahead and address it now, let's go ahead and conclude it into, to that January 2nd.
yeah, that's what I didn't say really not.
Right.
So, at this point, then the motion will be that City of Lafayette will have a holiday, paid holiday, is that right?
Yeah.
Paid holiday on both December 26th, 2025, and January 2nd, 2026, just for this year, just for those 2 days.
So paid on that?
So you're giving us a paid holiday?
You see it,
If it's
Dave?
unpaid, not.
You see it, Dave?
No, it's just off, nothing.
Yeah, right.
Because in the past,
I'm paid holiday.
You got that, Lou?
unless they want to use some of the other pay, right? And they,
It's unpaid, yeah, they would have to.
To get paid, they would have to put it in person.
Correct.
So I'll make a motion for that.
I'll second your motion that we will have city holidays on the 26th and the 2nd, and the offices will be closed, and the employees may choose to go unpaid, paid with personal leave.
Correct.
Second.
Been properly motion, been properly motion, second.
information back that would benefit the city, that we can provide to our constituents?
Or even to us, that we may.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a topic where we discuss.
We discussed it in that discussion. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
So we discuss it at the work session on Tuesday?
Okay, audit account.
Our claims amount of $374,133.38.
I make a motion to pay out some of this.
Second.
Been proper motion, second come from clerk, audit account, amount of $374,133.48. Any discussion? Not all in favor, by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion approved. Okay, we're down to our public comments. If we have anyone here for public comment, we please ask that you be 2 minutes, please.
2 minutes?
Yes, sir.
When you gonna get it down to 30 seconds, Mayor? It went from 3 minutes to 2 minutes. It's still not in the ordinance. I wanna thank whoever's responsible for, if no one's responsible for having the United States flag present tonight for our meeting. And hopefully within 2 weeks, we could pledge allegiance to the flag. I wanna thank the, mayor and council for bringing the, speakers that were tabled 2 weeks ago up, and I would suggest or ask that something that was tabled in September of 2024 be brought back up before council. And I believe, Mr. Green and perhaps the chief of police can help to do that. It was, I believe, 22 properties, if I'm not mistaken, that were tabled in September of 2024 and just kind of disappeared into the thin air, just kind of disappeared. I want to thank the council person that voted not to raise their salary back in February of 2025. And, y'all really need to take care of your employees. You need to figure out, there's a bunch of smart people in this room, a bunch of smart people on council. You have probably one of the best attorneys in the state of Alabama that works for the city. And between all of y'all, you should be able to figure out how to compensate your employees like you should. Because the city doesn't run without its employees. And Mayor, I would suggest again that you amend ordinance 490 to state the amount of time that anyone that gets up here on any item on the agenda has X amount of minutes, or anyone that wants to speak and make a general public comment, that it be stated in the ordinance instead of you making up whatever you feel. You should allow someone to speak whenever someone wants to make a public comment. And to bring it from 3 minutes to 2 minutes in 2 weeks, that's not right. You know it's not. Thank you.
I just want to come before every one of them and just find out why I can't get power on my building over on 11th Street. And Mr. Green told Scott and Mr. Bond last week that before I get power on that building, he'll resign from his job. And I want to know what the situation is. Why would he say that to somebody? And I've been trying to get power for I know it a year now.
You want me to answer that? You talking about First Street?
Yeah.
It's because it was a citation because there was no building permit on that building, nor was it, properly zoning for the building that's located there. And, I'm in communication with your attorney to try and figure out a way to work that out.
But there's no way I can get power on it.
Not until it's approved, no.
I'll stand right here. I just want to say to the city that, the rails uptown really look nice. Not only do they look nice, just having, a person living with a disability in a wheelchair, having to access that side where there were no rails, just being able to get up there and not have a fear of falling off. Just want to commend y'all on that for getting that done. It really looks nice and, provides somewhat a little bit more, safety in that area, so just want to take time to say that to the council.
So much.
You're welcome.
Okay, at this time, we'll hold our public comments. Resolution, ordinance, other things. Our first reading, ordinance number 491, 2026. Back to school sales tax holiday.
I make a motion to approve first reading of resolution 4912026, back to school sale tax holiday.
Second it.
Been properly motion and seconded to approve the first reading of ordinance number 491, 2026. Back to school sales tax holiday. Any discussion?
I would like to go ahead also suspend the rule in the first reading of the minutes, go ahead and have to take a vote on this tonight. So I'm going to vote tonight.
This time, it's been properly motion that we suspend the rule
Roll call.
for the first reading of ordinance number 491, 2026, back to school sales tax holiday. This time, we ask our clerk, please, for a roll call.
Councilwoman Milford,
Yes.
Councilman Langley,
Yes.
Councilman Thomas,
Yes.
Councilwoman Stewart,
Yes.
Mayor Brown.
Yes.
Now there needs to be a motion to adopt.
And now I make a motion to go ahead and adopt ordinance number 491-226, back to school sales tax holiday.
Second.
Been properly motion and seconded that we adopt ordinance number 491, 2026, back to school sales tax holiday. Ask our clerk, please, for a roll call.
Councilwoman Milford,
Yes.
Councilman
Yes.
Langley,
Yes.
Councilman Thomas,
Yes.
Councilwoman Stewart,
Yes.
Mayor Brown.
Yes. Convey cemetery deed number 1827.
I make a motion that we convey cemetery deed 1827 to Ms. Annie Stover and the cemetery.
Second.
Been properly motion and seconded to convey cemetery deed number 1827. Any discussion? If not, I'll in favor by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Been properly motion and seconded to adjourn. Any discussion? If not, all in favor by saying aye. Opposed?
Did you see me in your yesterday? Then my son, he come this week with his brother. Listen to your. That's what he said.
I said